All right, I'm here with Nathan, the art director at Ready at Dawn Studios for The Order 1886. We actually have this right here in our meeting room. I'm so excited to see this live, Nathan. I haven't yet seen it live. We had a lot of arguments yesterday about whether or not this was in-game, or it was cinematics, or this is gameplay, or what. So can you kind of tell me how you guys make this seamless transition from being in-game to the cinematic?
So really the secret is there are no tricks. There are no smoke and mirrors. There's no difference between characters, textures, lighting, between gameplay and cinematics. And just to be really clear, we don't even have the capability to play videos in our engine. We were that confident
That's great.
that we were going to do everything real time throughout the game, start to finish.
Oh, it's so great. We're actually watching it happen right now. And this is something we haven't yet seen. We saw it during the Sony press conference. We saw you fighting, was it a werewolf? Or was it
Yeah, the lichen. So that was
a lichen,
That was
okay.
the first reveal of the lichen.
Right, so what's happening in this gameplay? What's going on?
So this gameplay is showing a kind of a different aspect of the game, which is more focused on kind of the core third-person action cover shooter. And this is set in the area of Whitechapel, which is kind of more the kind of slummier section of London. And so the knights are battling the rebels, who are a group that's fighting against the aristocracy. And they, in certain misguided ways, associate the knights with that aristocracy.
Gotcha.
So there's a little bit of gray areas in terms of how these different factions and sides play against each other in the game.
Okay, so this, it's funny, somebody referred to it yesterday as like steampunk Ghostbusters. Is that kind of what you're going for? It looks like we're fighting men here, but sometimes we're fighting monsters.
Yeah, there's definitely a mix, and that's something that we're really kind of conscious of in the overall pacing of the game. As things unfold and depending on the gameplay scenario, you know, they're very different mechanics, very different pacing. Mm-hmm. So you can switch from this more kind of action-oriented combat space to a more kind of slower, tense, really atmospheric suspense horror segment.
Right, so, and what I'm watching here, this is not a cinematic. This is all in-game now.
There are no cinematics, it's all real-time, and the characters don't even change. So
right, and at this point, I mean, obviously you can't control the character, but it's just, what is the transition like? What's that? I mean, it kind of drops you out, throws some widescreen on it, and then you go back to gameplay, or
actually, the screen doesn't even change.
It doesn't change.
Nope,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
just a camera. Like the only discernible difference is you had a free gameplay camera,
right.
And now this is a more directed camera.
Right.
That's the only difference. And sometimes you have full interactivity. Sometimes you have more like branching QT choices.
Yeah.
And so that's something we couldn't really show in the shorter snippet of the trailer we revealed. But a lot of those sequences, that's all actually playable.
Gotcha.
And depending on the choices, there are different kind of events that unfold in that sequence.
Okay. If you can give me kind of like the paragraph pitch of what the story is of The Order 1886, because I'm still unclear.
So The Order 1886 is a third-person action game with elements of suspense horror, and it's set in an alternate history version of London. And so the story focuses around this group of knights that they're kind of the sole protectors of society against the onslaught of these half-breed creatures.
Gotcha.
So this has been a war that's been raging on for centuries, and just now it's kind of the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, mm-hmm. and technology and scientific innovation has gotten to the point that humanity is now getting the upper hand.
Right.
So this kind of sets off a series of events around which our game unfolds. And during the course of the game, you're playing as the protagonist, Grayson, whose call sign is Sir Galahad,
okay.
as one of the knights at the round table.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so what kind of monsters are we fighting in this? Because I like you said, you saw the lichen, but I'm waiting for vampires. I'm waiting for, I don't know what other monsters. What else?
We're now at the point where we're revealing kind of all the kind of cards at this point. But
good.
The lichen is kind of the first of those reveals.
Okay.
And the half-breeds, they're sort of different species and different types.
Yeah.
And that's something that over the coming months, we'll start kind of peeling the curtain back from.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is one of the few PS4 exclusives that I feel is actually utilizing the system, completely. How are you guys able to attain that? How are you guys able to attain the no cinematics?
Well, that's something that just for the immersiveness of the gameplay and how we wanted to kind of switch back and forth between kind of the storytelling beats and kind of the immersive action beats. That's something from the very beginning we really wanted to make that seamless. And something, if you have to queue up a video to do that, you're going to kind of fall back into the traditional route of you have long gameplay sequence,
right.
long movie, and there's that kind of break in the player in the experience. And so we wanted to just interleave all those things seamlessly.
Gotcha. Now I keep seeing him use, looks like with a machine gun, sometimes maybe a grenade launcher. Can you kind of give us a few of the weapons that you're using in these demos?
Yeah, so in this demo we're kind of showcasing the thermite rifle.
Okay.
And so the thermite rifle has two modes of fire. The primary fire shoots high-speed pellets that disperse these like strips of aluminum iron oxide.
Cool.
And so then you have the alt fire of this magnesium flare that will ignite the thermite. So this lets you kind of play with a few different strategies. Like you can kind of prime the area with this kind of volumetric clouds that will kind of drift with the wind and the environment, and then ignite them. Or you can actually start with your alt fire, try to stick it to the environment or characters, and then kind of follow that up with the thermite to ignite the flare.
Very cool. All right, I'm so distracted. Because this is, again, I haven't yet seen this. In terms of the other characters in the story, are they just sort of your escorts along the way, or do people get to play with you? How does this work?
There's no co-op, if that's
right.
what you're asking.
Yeah.
The other characters you're seeing in this demo are also members of the Order.
Okay.
So it's kind of reminiscent of the Knights of the Round Table.
Gotcha.
So these are sort of part of your squad. It's kind of a close-knit group.
Gotcha. Okay. It looks unbelievable. It looks gorgeous. I'm really, really excited to actually play this. They said I was going to be able to play it a little bit. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay.
Fine with me.
I'm getting the nod off camera. When does the Order 1886 come out?
It comes out February 20th, 2015.
That's not so far away.
No.
Not so far away. Thanks again, Nathan.
No problem.
I really appreciate it.
Hey guys, we're at E3 checking out Destiny. I've been playing it all weekend. I'm here with Deej talking about it. Hi buddy, how are you?
Good to have you here.
So yeah, like I said, I've had, I want to say 20, 25 hours maybe playing it, and I want more. But you announced that people are going to be able to play it for themselves pretty soon, right?
Yeah, as early as Thursday, you can get into the Destiny public alpha. You can register.